Just extraordinary footage. I don't know why it's extraordinary because we see it all the time, but it was amazing to watch footage which Sky had reporters on the ground. Again, they could have been reporting this for many years if they'd wanted. A huge number of migrants literally running broad daylight through the dunes onto the beach in France, and then it's setting sail. Women and children joining them. A woman with a 14-week-old. A 2-week-old baby, just a 14-day-old baby, extraordinarily, while the French police just stood at a distance watching them and just watched them go. The French have now said, we haven't had that 54 million quid yet. The minister just said to us, it's just going through the bureaucracy. But with 1,500 more people came across the channel in the last 2 days. I mean, this is never going to stop, is it?
Not if we continue behaving and reacting in the way we have been. In fact, 18,288 so far this year we've counted, and that's going to go up and up, I'm afraid. And we're heading well towards the 25,000 we had forecast 6 months ago was likely to happen. Frankly, as I've said before, Julia, I think it's a nonsense to be paying the French to do what they should be doing anyway. We shouldn't be paying them, and we've in fact paid them something like £200 million since 2015. I think that is a nonsense, effectively, for them to be aiding and abetting migrants to cross the channel illegally.
Well, indeed. I mean, I did wonder though, if I was just on the beach getting into a dinghy, I wouldn't expect the police to stop me. Can they legally stop people getting on those boats? If those people just said, we're just going for a little ride around on our very overpacked dinghy and we're all from Somalia, so it all looks a bit unlikely. But I mean, what they're doing. But are they actually in a position until they're in international waters to actually stop them?
Well, of course they are. Of course they are. These are not day trippers. These people are not about to get out on a little jaunt.
No, but is it illegal to get on? But is it illegal to get on a boat and aim to do that?
It's illegal to leave from an unauthorized points to go to another country. It's illegal to get into an unseaworthy vessel in order to get out. And when there are 40 people getting onto a boat that should be carrying a third of that, then yes, of course they can stop them. They choose not to.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing, Julia, if I may? If these people are genuine refugees, fine. The fact is that they're not. The vast majority are not. They're young men. They're not refugees as we would expect them to be. If they were arriving at Heathrow, say, and they turned out not to qualify for leave to enter the UK and were not refugees, we would send them straight back from where they came. Why do we not send them back now? Because the French are obliged to take them, and it's a nonsense that we haven't been able to press for that.
And that's the thing, it is utterly bizarre. I mean, also, frankly, a mum, everyone says, you must be so desperate to put a 2-week-old on a rickety boat like that. I'm sorry, if a mum in Britain did that, she'd be prosecuted, quite rightly, for endangering her child's life and probably have her child taken into care. The idea that you're desperate when you get on a boat in northern France is absurd. You might be desperate leaving Syria. You might be desperate leaving, anywhere else that's war torn at the current time. But you're not desperate leaving France. It is a nonsense. Do you think this is all part of France just basically trying to make life difficult for us, just not wanting to make life easier? What's really going on here? Because we all know, and the same with Priti Patel. She talks good talk. She got a wonderful reception at Tory Party conference. She actually gave a really good speech. And if she delivered on any of the things in her speech, you'd be really impressed with her. But the reality is we've seen things get worse rather than better under her watch. So what's really motivating this inability, this inaction to actually tackle this issue?
I have a feeling that our political class, as well as the cabinet, frankly, haven't got the bottle. Priti Patel may have, but she's probably the only one, frankly, who's prepared to push in the way that needs to be pushed. The other thing
did you
is
say
that
haven't got the no? When you say haven't got bottled, you mean they're worried about an editorial in the Guardian that's going to be critical of them? Is that what it is?
well, that's partly it. I think also that by and large, the Treasury, the Prime Minister, they're pretty much in favour of migration, and frankly, this is migration by any other name. The French, for that matter, they're, I think, covering up for their own mess. They've got a huge problem there because they're not controlling people who are entering France, and they're not controlling them when they are in France. Many of these people have actually applied for asylum and been rejected in France. So let's not be, I don't want to be unkind to anyone, but this is not an occasion to be understanding and kind to the French.
No, no, indeed. Alp Mehmet, always good to talk to you to get your perspective. Chairman of Migration Watch, thank you very much.